Good afternoon all, hope you're all doing alright. It's been about 5-6 days, isn't it, before I made my last video, since my last video rather, but you know, I just take my time doing things, I don't rush. But anyway, I've been doing the Gramdeck, I finished it. It was actually working. Last time I tried it with Brenell tape deck, it was working fine on playback, but I didn't try record. And I changed about, there's about 5 electrolytics inside there, which I changed on the underside of this board. And I found a couple of these waxy caps. Oh my god, they're supposed to read, what was it, is it 50 nanofarad? Yeah, 50 nanofarad. And they were reading 350 odd. My god, well out of tolerance. So I thought, you're out. So there we go, that's the replacement for one of those. And I've got another one on the other side, which I found. I thought there was only one more to change. No, one of them was hiding. Little sod. So what I did in the meantime, after that, well, I've been working this all afternoon, but what I did after that, the newer batteries, the newer PP9 don't fit into this case anymore. For some reason, they've grown a little bit fatter. They don't fit, believe it or not, just don't fit in there. So, anyway, I thought to myself, I know what I'll do. I'll snip the wires off the old connectors. There's the old ones for the PP9. So, well, it's no point because I can't use a modern PP9. What's the point? I didn't cut them all the way. I thought I'll keep a bit of wire to, I don't know, just to hang on for future projects. You never know. But it was much longer. But what I did, and then I thought, hang on a minute. So what? Hang on. Well, let me start again. Right. So I bought a battery box. All right. So it takes 6 AA batteries, so that is 9 volts then, and that's just perfect for this. And because it's 6 AAs, then the current's going to be higher, and those batteries should last a long time. And I put energizers because they never leak. But saying that, one of them did leak on a mag light, would you believe? Why is it always mag lights get ruined with even an energizer? I don't get it. They just hate torches or flashlights, so you say in the States. They don't like them. They always seem to corrode in a mag light. But anyway, I've got LED torches now, or flashlights with those other batteries. You know, those big rechargeable, what are they called? 18O, whatever they're called. Those, you know what type I mean. Can't remember. I've got one here somewhere. It's hiding from me. An 18, whatever it is. So, yeah, so there we go. And what I did, I left some of the original wiring there from the, oops, I've got to watch this bracelet. I've got this metallic magnetic bracelet for arthritis, and I keep hitting things on it. Let me take it off because it's a pain in the bum. Right, that's off. It keeps knocking things all the time, especially when you're doing this sort of work. You don't really want that bracelet damaging things. Like this coil, the bias oscillator coil. Look at the wires on it. Tiny little wires. So if I had ripped one of those off just now, I wouldn't have been happy at all. Anyway, so what I did, I cut these, I cut the wires off, and I left some behind because inside it's really awkward getting to some of these connectors, some of these solder joints. In fact, I had a bit of trouble with the other one on the underside. It was a pain. Because you know the manufacturers, what they do, they put the wires through the holes and they bend them over. And even when you use a desoldering gun, you know, it's really hard. You've got to get then a little blade underneath and lift it. It's a bit of a pain in the bum. It took me ages without damaging anything else that was nearby. So what I did, I thought, let me cut the wires, leave the originals there. I didn't want to go into the circuit board and mess around there. Because I thought if one day, let's say the connector fails or something like that, this little connector, say it snaps off or whatever, I've got spares of these anyway. I bought 10. So what I can do then is just cut that over there and just join a new connector onto it. Good idea, eh? Otherwise you've got to go back into the machine and desolder it from the solder tags, which is a real pain. You've got to deassemble that again. So I thought I'd do it this way. Clever, eh? Well, I thought so at the time anyway. So I put a bit of a heat shrink around here, of course. So don't want it touching anywhere, do you? So heat shrink on both, and that's nice and tight now. And I've got one of these lighters, you know, these lighters used to light cookers. Guess what? I wanted to use it. Yeah, it's run out of gas. Where's the gas cylinder? Oh yeah, I threw it away when I was clearing up my cupboard a while ago, because there was a tiny drop left, so I threw it away. But I really could have done with a drop, so I just used an old match. Match did the trick anyway. So I thought that's a good idea. Cut them off in case the connector fails on me. I'll just cut it from there and join it up. Great idea. So then I thought, oh, hang on a minute, this is a bit loose to fit in there. So how do I keep it in there? So I thought, Velcro. Nah, I thought of Velcro, but then it's a waste of Velcro. So I thought, I know what to do, because the Velcro's got to get, you know, you've got to stick it on there on the battery pack, on the actual batteries, and then you're going to waste the Velcro. When it's time to change the batteries, you're going to rip off the Velcro, and that section is going to be ruined. So I thought, I know. Ta-da! Scotch Fix mounting tape, double face. Holds up to 7 kilos. Oh my god. Well, I won't be needing that. I mean, this battery pack weighs what? I don't know. What? 400. How do you call it? Grams or something like that. 500. Probably 400, I reckon. So hopefully that should stay in place. And I'll put a strip of double-sided sticky tape there and just plonk it into place in there. And then when it comes to change the batteries, I mean, that's going to be a long time. I mean, this unit doesn't use much current at all. It uses very little current. So there we go. I'm all ready to do my little test. And I don't know, I hope you can't hear that music. No, I hope not. Had a swinging time. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Shut up, Harvey. Anyway, do you want to see the spare Brenell deck I've got for testing heads, etc.? I made a plinth for it. And when I got it, the guy, for some reason, he took off the head covers. He got the covers that go on the actual heads. And he took them off. I don't know why he did that. I really don't know. So I still don't know if the heads actually work. Hence fixing the Gramdeck up so it all works 100%. So I've made an extension coaxial lead for it, because it's terminated in coax cable, coax connector, the Brenell. There weren't any phonos around in that time. Right, so I'm going to use this for testing later on. So okay, do you want to see the Brenell deck? My plinth. The two side panels are warped because there was a guy doing his floorboards, putting new floorboards down, and I said, you haven't got a spare bit of wood, have you? He said, well, the only one I've got is this pine board, but it's got a warp. It's actually warped all through down the middle of it. So ready? Right. Ba-da! There we go. Right, I'm going to turn the office off. Alexa, off. Right, it's put me off a bit, trying to do a video and music in the background. Oh, that's better. Silence is golden. Sorry, Elvis, had to be done. Right, there we go. What do you reckon? Not bad, isn't it? Just a test rig, so I've got the leads all hanging out, which is great. Power lead. So there we go. Look how warped it is. Bet it should be fine. Oh, sorry, Dyson's in. I've got a Dyson to fix. Get out of the way, Dyson. How warped it is. Is it DC? What is it? DC 24. Should be easy. They normally get clogged up full of crap and dust and fluff balls or whatever. So I'm going to strip it all down. I could have done it today, actually. It was a lovely day. No rain, beautiful outside. But I'll strip it down tomorrow if it's nice. Take it all apart. So there we go. There's the test Brenell deck. This is my test deck. And fortunately, when I bought it, it's got the extra large pinch roller. And what a lot of people get confused is, there was even an American guy on YouTube, and he had one of these decks, well, the later one, which I've got as well. And he said, oh, I wonder, I said, how does that work? He goes, how does this work now? You got 7.5, all right, and then you got, what's that one there? right, and then, oh, you can't see it, it's hidden under there, but it's 3 3/4 and 1 7/8. Right, now if you've ever bought a Brenell, hopefully you didn't turn that knob and force it around. Please tell me you didn't do that, because that is the wrong way to do it. You'll just break the switch and you've had it. But it is a bit confusing, because when I first bought Brenell, I thought, hang on a minute, why has it got 7.5, 3 3/4 and 7 and 1 7/8 on top? And it's got 3 3/4, 7.5 and 15. Back to the pinch roller. Right. Now when you buy these new, you get supplied with 2 pinch rollers, a skinnier one and a fatter one. Right. So when you put the skinnier one on, that corresponds to the top settings. So look, the knob doesn't move at all. It just moves to 3 settings. All right, it doesn't twist all the way around. Don't ever twist it all the way around. Please don't do that. But when you've got the large pinch roller on, it corresponds to the bottom row. 3 3/4, 7.5 and 15 IPS. Yes, 15 inches per second. Pro speed, eh? And when you've got the skinny one on, right, and that little post there, a lot of people don't know that post is for storing whichever one you're not using. And on the bottom of these pinch rollers, there's a grub screw, very tiny grub screw. Yeah, I can feel it. Where is it? Yeah, it's there somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's at the bottom now. I don't know if you can see that. It's not bright enough. Oh yeah, you might be able to see it. That little holder, look, just about down there. Right. So what you do, you put the unused pinch roller on that post and you tighten the grub screw so it doesn't come off. That's where you store it. A lot of people put the tape around here. Don't do that, it's wrong. You don't thread it that way. It goes through there, all right, over that little post thing there, past the sponge little felt pads there or whatever on the heads, then it goes there. All right, you with me? Hope so. Then it goes around that post, then it goes round that as well. There's another little lever there. Alright, so it goes there, and then it goes up, and it goes around this one. That's where it's got to go, not that one. Alright. I'm going to come back to this later on, actually. Is it powered up? No, it's not powered up, is it? Oh, God, hang on a minute. Is it plugged in? Alright, let me power it up. Hang on, I've got to bend right down. I just done my back in, actually. I was trying to get some tools over there in the corner, and I pulled my back again. Oh, why do I do that? Right, I'm going to show you a trick. Let me see if I can get to the power plug first. Oh, God, this is murder. Oh, God. Alright, power on. That's it. Okay. Right, I'm going to show you a little trick, alright? Now, on these machines, they've got 3 motors. And if the brakes are not adjusted right, and you're on fast forward or rewind, and you suddenly stop the tape, you can snatch your tape and snap it. So what a lot of people do, I'll show you what to do, and this is mentioned in the actual user guide of Brenell. Right, look at these heads. Look, there should be a round silver cover on it. It's like we call it interference, you know, like shielding cover. Look, it's took it off. I don't know why he did that. Why did he take it off? So there's the erase head. There's the record replay head, erase head there, and there was another head fitted, a stereo head, which I've kept. So one day I might install a stereo head. So what I need to do is just take a connection to another amp, and I can listen in stereo. So I mean, these decks really were aimed at the experimenter. I mean, Brenell did actually encourage you to do different modifications, hence the provisions for 4 heads. So 1, 2, see, another hole, 3 and 4. You can have 4 heads on this machine. And what the guy did, he drilled a hole. He shouldn't have done that. I don't know, why did he do that? He drilled a hole there in the base plate for the wiring for the stereo head. I thought, no, never mind. That's done. But you can always get some liquid metal, I suppose, special epoxy, and cover it up. Put a bit of gold paint. Yeah, but you know what? Is it really worth it? No. Right, so we're on 7.5 here now. Let me show you a trick. So to avoid snapping your tape, there is a technique, right? And what you do, say you're on fast forward and you're going to go into reverse, you quickly switch this over to rewind, quickly, very quick, and then you wait for the momentum to stop, and as soon as it barely stops, then you turn it to the middle position to stop. All right, so let me show you what I mean. Look at that, this deck works lovely. You won't hear nothing, nothing's connected yet until I try the Gramdeck later on. I'll do another little video later. That's working lovely. All speeds work, funny enough. This has already been serviced. When I got it, I stripped it all down. It was seized, nothing would work, the knobs wouldn't turn, nothing would work, speed change wouldn't turn, that wouldn't move, that was solid, that was solid. I'm getting quite a, how can I say, quite an authority on these decks. If you need to know anything about Brenell decks, just let me know, pop me an email. There's an email on my email address in my about section, so if you need to know on any adjustments or anything, just let me know. Oh, the counter's a bit sluggish, I noticed that. I think it's the belt. There's two belts actually on this. It's moving but it's sluggish, it's not right. The only way to change the belts on this, there's two, one from the counter to a little wheel in the middle here somewhere. Then there's another belt that goes around that, and the only way to get it off, you've got to turn it upside down. There's two screws under there and the hub lifts up, and then you put the belt in, and then you've got to put the hub on. But it's a bit of a fiddly job, and then again the screw becomes a little bit loose sometimes, so you need to use a bit of Loctite or some of that stuff. There's some other stuff you can get. It's like a Loctite. I bought some actually. Where is it? Oh, it's in my box. I've got a storage box down there, so I've got it all in there at the moment. I'm trying to clear this kitchen cum workshop up. Right, let me show you this little trick then. Oh, this is working great, this deck. Wow. Right, I'll show you what to do. All right, so I'm going fast forward. Right, look at that speed. Beautiful, eh? There's a lot of edits on this tape. It's only a scrap tape. Now you might be frightened, oh my god, if I put it to the mid position there, it might snatch, or it might stop abruptly and snap the tape. So what you do, watch this, you just go switch it straight over to rewind, right, and that's it. And as soon as the power gets transferred from one motor to the other, that's it. That is the safest way to stop the tape if you're on fast forward or rewind mode. And that's even in the Brenell user guide. So there we go. And if anybody wants a user guide for one of these, just pop me an email and I'll send you one via email, free. I don't charge. There's a lot of people out there, they charge for a bloody PDF copy of the user guide. I mean, come on people, I mean, you've got it free in the first place, for Christ's sake, and you're going to sell it to people. Shame on you. There we go. Right, do it again. But anything you want, I'll send you, it's all free. Right, here we go. I'm just going to check this tape deck because it sunk, this hub sunk the other day. I tightened it as much as I could, put a bit of Loctite. Now it seems alright. You've got to watch that, it can drop. Right, watch this. Right, here we go. Transfer the power. Alright, and that's it. And as soon as it comes to a near stop, put it to the central position. Safest way, honestly. Right, there we go. Let's show the speeds, alright? Right, 7.5. Remember, I set this all up only for one reason, so I can get this machine up here. This is the Brenell covered up. So I just covered it all up while I was soldering, because I've got to make do with the space I've got. I really need to win the lottery so I can buy a nice big house with a big outbuilding with proper foundations, heating, good lighting, you know, my own little environment. I could just stay there all night actually, I don't care. Even if I was married and that, the wife would stay inside the house and I'd just stay in my workshop all the time. I'll be happy. Well, you know what the wives do, don't you? They sit there all evening. They start on, was it Coronation Street, and then there's another Coronation Street, then there's an EastEnders, and then there was an Emmerdale, and then there's another EastEnders and that. Oh my God, and that's all they do. They just watch soaps all night long. God damn it. No way. Hate all that. Rather mess about with this stuff. Right, okay, let's show you now. Right, look at it, and these knobs work really well. They seem to work better on the earlier ones. These knobs don't slip. On the later ones they tend to slip, unless one of those knobs on the other machine is worn out, because when they wear out you get a bit of see, this is not too bad, but you get a bit of play on it. And there is a screw directly under here, straight through there. It's a bit awkward to get at because there's a bar in the way, an operating bar, and you tighten up really tight and put a bit of Loctite. You must put Loctite because it slips, and then you've got to mess about, take it out of the case again. Right, 3 3/4. Right, see, I'm using the bottom calibration in, bottom speed settings, because I've got the large roller on it, pinch roller. So right, 3 3/4. Right, let's go. Remember, this is only my experimenter's test deck, but it works great. Well, it didn't, but it does now. You know what, I might even take the whole tape block off. I've got a spare one, and I've got one with all the covers on it. So if these don't work, then I'll just change the complete head block, and that's quite an easy thing to do on this machine. As I said, it didn't make it hard to do anything because it was aimed at the tape enthusiast, the experimenter. If you ever want me to show that, how to take it off, I'll show you. It's easy. There's a load of screws here. That you've got to take this bit off first. That's the pressure pads. Then you take that off, that off. You've got to be careful and use a very fine blade screwdriver and unscrew these carefully. Then that comes off. And I think that's it really. And then you just literally desolder the connections underneath, if they're soldered to the solder tag, which they should be. But in this case, they come straight from the heads because he was experimenting, whatever. Right, okay, that's 3 3/4. Let's go to 15 IPS. Right, ready? There we go. Look at that, brilliant. Professional speed. I'll tell you one tip. On the back of this machine, on the actual terminal power block, there is a huge resistor. It's a 10, is it 10 amp? Oh, I can't remember now. Oh god, what is it? It's a big power wire wound transistor, resistor. Is it 10 ohms? Sorry, not amps, idiots. 10, it's a 10 ohm resistor. I think that's right. Oh god, I can't remember now. But anyway, it's I got it wrong. It's 850 ohm. How many watts is it? It's about 10 watts. Sorry, I've got it wrong. Right, it's an 850 ohm 10 watt resistor, power resistor. And what it does, now if you ever have a problem with the tape speed, say 15 IPS is working all right, but when you switch it to 7.5 or 3 3/4, that's the problem I had with this other machine over here when I first got it. The two lower speeds weren't working, and what it was, the resistor at the back was shorted. Not shorted, open circuit. I keep getting it wrong, don't I? It was open circuit, and when that happens, you just change the power resistor and it works again. All the 3 speeds work. And the reason why Brenell did that is because they're trying to restrict the power of the motors when it's on the lower speeds, but when it's on 15 IPS, it bypasses the resistor. So full power goes to the motors. That's what it's for. So again, as I said, if you try 3 3/4, 7.5, and nothing moves. In fact, on the other deck, that motor here wasn't even turning. So that was turning, but not this one. The take-up wasn't turning at all, and it was all down to that resistor. So, but if you need any, tips, whatever, how to fix this, how to fix that in the Brenell, just let me know. So I'm becoming a real authority on these decks now. Anyhow. Still got to get the record working on the other deck, but I'm sure it's down to the heads. I'm sure of it. I'm almost like 99% sure, because I've changed all the other components on the amplifier, on the record side and the playback side, so can't be that. Right, there we go. Let's switch it back to 7.5. Alright, there we go. Let's make sure it's still going all right. Like that. So now the resistor comes into play, the big fat 10 watt 850 ohm resistor. That is an operation there to restrict the speed of the motors. That's the whole idea of it. and it gets very hot. So I mean, the other day it was smoking a bit. Well, not smoking, it was I could smell burning, and what it was just residual dust on it because it hadn't been used for so many years. Right, so the next thing I've got to do, plug in the Gramdeck. That's the record playback thing. I put a female socket on that because I've got a male-to-male lead I made up. And I'm going to undo the amplifier on this machine again, take that out, put the lead in, plug it into the coax connector, and try to do a record, try to record something. So I'll just plug a microphone in and see if the amplifier works. And if it does work with this deck, unless there is some special switching on the circuit where the actual deck on this machine has got to go into operation, so I might have to put it into record even though there won't be a tape on it. I don't know, because it could switch it out. See, maybe it has to be in operation. I really don't know. I'll have to study the circuit diagram again. But anyway, it's all trial and error. It's all good fun anyway. I like it. I enjoy myself. It's great. There we go. Look at that. It's really firm, this knob. It's fantastic. Even on the other one, you know, every time I turn it and that bloody screw under there, I don't even see it. Let me see if I can show you what screw I'm talking about. Right, bend down again. Oh, wow. There we go. Look at that. See, everything's accessible. Right, be careful, Harvey, everything's live and haven't got the isolation transformer plugged in. So be careful, don't electrocute yourself. Live, operative word, live. Right, I don't even see it. Let's have a look. You can't, it's that bar in the way. There's a bloody bar in the way there at the top. But just directly, that's underneath that screw for the handle. It's directly under there. It's one slot screw, and you gotta, you know, you can't see it because I've got it in the plinth. Yeah, but you can't see it at all at the moment. But it is there, and you just need to tighten it with some we call it Loctite. But this is all live now. I mean, see what I did, I changed the suppressor caps as well. I think they're 0.01 caps, 10 nanofarad, and the ones they fit originally are little square, like little chocolate blocks. They're brown actually, brown blocks. I can show you some. Oh no, I can't. I've put them away now. But these are the modern equivalents, so I just heat shrink them all up, and there's 4 of them. And I made a note of the wiring of where they go. Don't worry, I did do that. They literally go across the 2 live terminals because this is AC voltage here. And if you don't have any suppression caps there, what it does, you get arcing on the contacts, and that will burn the contacts away. So that's a no-no. You must have suppression caps. So there we go. See, there's 2 on that side. See, on this one goes to the neutral, one goes to the, where's the other one go to? I can't see it. One goes to the live, and another one to live. One goes to the white wire, whatever that does. I don't know. I just copied the wiring when I took them off, and I always take things off one by one. Always replace things one by one. Don't ever just strip everything down. You think, oh no, where does that go? Where does that go? And take photographs as well. No excuse now with modern digital phones. There's no excuse. So there we go. Look at these lovely motors. They're indestructible. Those ones. They're AEI motors, manufactured by Brenell. In fact, this one has got all AEI motors. Even the other one I'm working on, the 2 rewind and fast forward motors, they're AEI motors, and the Capstan motor is made by Pabst. They changed it over to the Pabst motors. That's what Revox uses, but they're not as reliable as these ones. These ones apparently are indestructible. They really are, and these will probably last forever. Look at that. Oh, now I can't get up. Oh God. Oh bloody hell. Oh, the pleasures of getting old, eh? Terrible. Yeah, shame about that hole. Oh, mind you, it might come in handy. See, if I do put a stereo head in this, I'll just pass the wires down through there. Oh, I know why I made a hole. The Brenell heads, the actual wires, they exit from the bottom, and the head he put in, they exit from the normal place, from the side, from the back. So that's what he did. Oh yeah, of course, I see what he did now. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, could have made that hole a bit smaller. Maybe he's thinking I might put another head in. Oh, I don't know. Oh, actually, I can always stick a grommet in there. Yeah, I might stick the old little Wallace and grommet. There we go. All right. So there we go. Yeah, let me just rewind this a minute. I'm going to do the old little swap over power trick. I just love these decks. I've got this fascination for these decks. If anyone's got one they don't want, you can always donate it to me, and I'll pay all postage charges, no problem. Right, so I'm not going to see to stop it. You just put it right in the dead centre of that dial, but I'm not going to do that. There we go. See the method I'm using? That's all you do. Let's just go back a bit more. This motor was hardly turning when I got it. What you got to do on these AEI motors, there's one oil hole in each motor. So there's 3 you got to lubricate, and it does say clearly there's a little hole, it says oil. So what you do, you just put, don't put too much, I just put about 4 drops of clock oil. You know the oil you get from clocks? Because I used to repair clocks as well, the old mechanical ones. And clock oil is very fine oil. It's really good. And what I do, I drag it into a syringe with a hypodermic needle on the end, and that's what I use. I just file off the end of the needle in case you dig it into your skin or whatever. So I file it off completely, or I just cut it off actually. I just cut it off with snippers so it's flat, and then file it down slightly. And that's what I use for injecting the oil into the little holes, which is a good idea. There we go. All right, let me turn this. Oh, I've got to bend down again. Oh no, I've got to turn this off now. Always turn the power off. Yeah, look at that. Lovely, lovely. So there we go. Next test now. I'm going to finish my cup of tea. It's probably cold by now. And I'm going to plug it into the other Brenell and try to utilise the amp on that. But as I said, I don't know whether the motor has got to be in operation. But it's no problem, because I'll just put it into record mode and put it to record. It won't record anything, because there won't be a tape on it. I'm just using this. That's it. Just going to use the heads on that and see if there's any signal. Actual fact, if I put it in record mode, I can actually put some probes on that. Oh, I don't want to put it in the wrong place and short it out. Nah, I'm going to leave it. I'll just make a recording, play it back. The only thing is, you might hear the other track, because the thing is, I'm not connecting the erase head up. That's the erase head. I'm not connecting that up because that's too much aggravation. Because the erase head on the other one, it's got a 2-pin connector. So you know what, whatever's on here, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to blank it off. I'll blank off the tape. I can't do it on this machine, I'll do it on the other. I'll just blank it off about a quarter of the way up to about there somewhere, so I know it's completely blank. Because if I try to record onto this and there's something already there, the original recording will still be there, so it would be the new recording would be superimposed on top, so I won't be able to erase. I've worked it all out. There's a lot of thought gone into this, but there we go. So that's it, right? Oh, I've been blabbering on for 33 minutes now. Oh my god, can hardly talk. Bloody heck. Alright then folks, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it's been useful. And about this swapping over the power from one motor to the other trick. But I didn't invent it, that was Brenell's idea. It's in the user guide, as I said. But there we go. Anyway folks, I'll see you later for any future updates. I've got to get that record working on that other machine. I will get it going. It might take me a bit of time, because as I say, I just do things in my own time. There's no rush. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it for me. So there we go. Okay then, I'll talk to you later. Right, bye for now.